Hello students, welcome to English Classroom. I am Dr. Suchitra Singh, Assistant Professor of English, VGDC, Vidyanagar. Today's class is on adjectives prescribed for Semester 2 by Osmania University for BA, BCom, BSc and BB. Now you must have learned about adjectives in your previous class. But today we learn something more about adjectives because adjectives is that part of grammar which helps us or enhances our vocabulary as well as our writing skills. So let's start from simple, then we'll move on to the complex part. Now let us look at this picture first. Now all of you know who she is. She is Aishwarya Rai, Miss World of India in the past. Now, if I have to describe her, I would say Aishwarya, right? I would say Aishwarya is beautiful, or I would say she is beautiful. When I say Aishwarya is beautiful, this word beautiful is modifying the noun Aishwarya, right? And when I say she is beautiful, this word beautiful is modifying the pronoun she. So with this example, we understand that an adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun. Let us look at another example. He is fat. Raj is fat. Now here, the word fat is modifying the word Raj, that is noun. And here, the word fat is modifying the pronoun he, right? Then, let us go for another example. The boy is sitting on the small chair. What is small? Chair. So, it is modifying this thing, right? There is a big chair. Again here it is modifying a thing. So this is also noun, chair is also noun, right? So what we understand from these three examples is that an adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun or a thing, right? Now, why do we need, what is our objective in learning these things, right? Now, the objective to teach adjectives over here is that to help students able to correctly identify adjectives, able to distinguish shades of meaning among closely related adjectives, and be able to use adjectives correctly in their writing, be able to create or select vivid adjectives to enhance their writing as they write and revise. Excuse me. So our objective is to help students to correctly identify adjectives, be able to distinguish shades and meanings among closely relative adjectives, to use adjectives correctly in their writing, and to enhance their speaking as well as their writing skills. With these objectives, let us learn what adjectives are. As I said earlier, we'll move from simpler definitions of adjectives to the complex learning of adjectives and its functions, right? Now, if we have to define what an adjective is, then an adjective is a word used to qualify a noun or a pronoun. What is an adjective? It is a word used to qualify a noun or a pronoun. Words like fury, angry, tall, small, etc. are all called as adjectives because they describe, say, great, cool, amazing. These are the words that are used to qualify a noun or a pronoun. Moreover, in other words, adjectives are words that describes, limit or modify nouns and pronouns, right? In other words, they add life and color to the sentence. Say, for example, she wore a dress is very simple. But if I say, she wore a beautiful dress, that is, it is adding more color to the dress. What dress? Beautiful dress. So it is describing the noun dress. I am adding or modifying it more by giving little more information about the dress. I have a car is as well correct. But when I say I have a fast car, I'm talking about the features of my car, which is a fast car, right? So modifying the noun or pronoun and giving some more example information and adding color to the sentence. So with this we understand that an adjective is a word used to qualify a noun or pronoun. In other words, they are words that describes, limit or modify nouns and pronouns. It adds life and color to the sentence. Example, she wore a beautiful dress. I have a fast car. Okay. Now let's move on from here. Now, not only that, they not only give more information, but adjectives tell how much or how many of something, right? What is it? It tells us how much or how many of something. Like words for numbers, color, size, shape are also adjectives. Words that we use, say 1, 2, 3, red, blue, green, big, small, fast, slow, right? Shape, round, triangle, full, empty. All these are also adjectives. So, what are adjectives? They tell us how much or how many of something. We also know that words of numbers, color, size, shape are also adjectives. For example, smart boy, green parrot. Parrot is a noun. We're giving some more information. Boy is a noun. We're giving little more information saying that smart boy, right? Ball is a noun. But I'm giving you little more information by saying round ball or one boy and giving you the number, two girls. So they talk about numbers. They're words that we use to tell numbers, the words that we use to tell colors, size, shape, all these are also called as adjectives. For example, how we use it in a sentence, Raj is a tall boy. Raj is a boy is a sentence. But I'm telling what is his height? He's a tall boy, right? Raj has a bag. Yes, but I'm talking more about the bag, a red bag, right? The globe is in which shape? Round in shape, right? Round is the word that I'm using to describe the shape. I have 5 balloons. I'm giving you the number of balloons that I have. So these words like tall, red, round, 5, right? Or smart, green, big, 1, 2, all these are also called as adjectives. So these examples tell us that adjectives tell us how much or how many of something. It tells us words for numbers, color, size, shape, right? For example, smart boy, big ball, round, big hall, round ball, right? Tall boy, 5 balloons. All these are also called as adjectives. Now look at this in this picture. I have an empty glass. I have a full bottle. He runs fast. He runs slow. So the word fast, slow, full, empty are also words that we are using to describe or modify our nouns. So they are also called as adjectives, right? Then we also know that not only do they tell us the number, not only do they tell us the size, the color, but adjectives also describe how someone or something looks, tastes, feels, smells, or sounds like. What else? That an adjective also describes how someone or something looks or feels, tastes, or sounds like. For example, look at this apple. crispy apple, crunchy apple, round apple, green apple or red apple, shiny apple, or else if it smells fresh, it tastes sweet, sour, color red, right? So I can tell how it looks, right? How it tastes, how we feel it's crunchy, right? Or it is shiny, right? How it smells sweet, right? So like that we can use. For example, beautiful girl, salty chips, fresh flowers, hard pillow, right? How you feel, loud music, how it sounds, right? So, when I say beautiful girl, how it looks. When I say salty chips, how it tastes. When I say fresh flowers, how it smells. Or when I say loud music, how it sounds. So, how we can use, see, she is a beautiful girl. The chips are salty. Or how we feel. I feel friendly. I'm happy. He's naughty. He's lazy. He's brave, jealous. So all these words are also called as adjectives. See, adjectives enhances our vocabulary where we can learn so many words to express the same thing. I can say I'm very friendly, I'm very amicable, right? Or very lousy, lazy, right? Brave, strong. See, so many words I can use to describe a certain things. The chips are salty, they are crunchy, uh, what I would say is that stale, or they are very fresh. So I can describe the chips in so many ways, right? So what we understand is that adjective also describes how someone or something looks, tastes, feels, smells, or sounds like, right? So, what do we understand? That adjectives are words that are used to qualify a noun or a pronoun, right? Example, she wore a beautiful dress, right? I have a fast car. And adjectives tell us how much or how many of something, right? Or say, I have 5 balloons, right? The globe is round in shape, or Raj has a red bag, or green parrot, big hall. So it will tell about numbers, it will tell about colors, it will tell about size and shape, right? And then they not only describe that, but they also tell how something looks fresh, right? How something tastes, how something feels, or how something smells. For example, beautiful girl, salty chips, right? Or fresh flowers, hard pillow, loud music, etc. So now that we have understood what an adjective is, let us understand what are the different kinds of adjectives. There are different kinds of adjectives, and they are proper adjectives. Proper adjectives are nothing but they are describing a thing by referring it to some proper noun, right? And then we have descriptive adjectives, that is showing what quality or in what state a thing is. Then we have quantity, showing how much of a thing is meant. Then we have numeral, showing how many things or in what order it is there. Then we have demonstrative adjectives, showing that things are taken separately or in separate lots. We have interrogative, asking which and what thing is meant, right? Then we also have possessive adjectives like mine, thine, yours. So we have different kinds of adjectives, that is proper adjective, descriptive adjective, quantitative adjective, numeral adjective, demonstrative adjective, interrogative adjective, and possessive adjective. Now let us try to understand each one in detail. What is a proper adjective? A proper adjective is an adjective formed from a proper noun, right? It's called proper adjective. For example, Indian flag is formed from a proper noun India. Persian band, formed from a proper noun Persia. The Roman Empire, formed from a proper noun Rome. The Gangetic plain, right? Ganges, right? So What we form a word, an adjective formed from a proper noun is called an adjective. To understand this more clearly, let us look at this example. Raj lives in India. Now, India is a proper noun. This India, I'm going to change it into proper adjective. And I will say Raj eats Indian food. So now here, Indian becomes adjective. So this is called as proper adjective, a adjective formed from proper noun. So an adjective formed from a proper noun is called proper adjective. Example, Indian flag, Persian band, the Roman Empire, right? And then the Gangetic plain, right? All these are called proper adjectives. Next is descriptive adjective. Now, what is a descriptive adjective? The descriptive adjectives show what quality or in what state persons or things are. They show what quality or in what state persons or things are. These are sometimes called qualitative, in the sense they are the type of adjectives that are used to express the size, color, or shape of a person, thing, animal, or place. Right? For example, they add additional meaning to a noun or pronoun by describing its quality. What do? They add additional meaning to a noun or pronoun by describing its quality. For example, she is a clever girl. What type of a girl she is? Right? She brushed her long brown hair. Size. The fat boy shape teased the small kid in the park. Right? So the size, the color, the shape, everything. Now look at this example. Just this very turtle, if we take, now we'll say it is an oval in shape. It is slow, it is shy, it is strong, it is green color and brown in color, it is shelled, right? It is short. So how we can describe one thing? All these words that we are using are called as descriptive adjectives, right? So what is a descriptive adjective? The descriptive adjectives show that the what quality or in what state person or things are. These are also called as qualitative adjectives, in the sense they are the type of adjectives that are used to express the size, color, shape of a person, thing, or animal. For example, she is a clever girl. She brushed her long brown hair. The fat boy teased the small kids in the park. So we know what a proper adjective is, what a descriptive adjective is, right? Next is quantitative adjective. Now, quantitative adjectives show the quantity or degree of a thing. They show how much of a thing is meant. The chief adjectives of this class are say much, little, no or none, some or any, enough or sufficient, all or whole, half. So in this way we use. Now, quantitative adjectives are used with countable nouns. They are also used with non-countable nouns. Sometimes some quantitative adjectives are used with both countable nouns and non-countable nouns. So let us look at this quantitative adjectives with countable nouns. Say, I can say I have many books, I have several books at home, I have few books at home. All are countable. Quantitative adjectives with non-countable nouns, I'll say I have much information on history, I have a great deal of information on history, I have little information on history. So how we can use quantitative adjectives with countable nouns as well as non-countable nouns? Sometimes we can use quantitative adjectives with both plural countable and non-countable nouns. Like he has some money. Some I can use, I have some books, right? Some money, a lot of money, enough money. So, quantitative adjectives, we can use it in either we can use it for countable nouns, We can use for non-countable nouns, or we can use for both countable and non-countable nouns. Now let us understand this by looking at this example. He did not eat much bread. That means he did not eat a large quantity of bread, right? He ate little bread. So I want to say a small quantity of bread he ate. He ate no bread, that is none. He ate some, that means a certain quantity of bread. So see, just to tell this one thing, I can use these adjectives like much, little, no, and some. So with this, what we understand is that the word quantitative adjective tells how much or how many they are, and that they are followed by a noun. Say one man, some sugar, much work, each person. They're always followed by a noun, right? Then we have some more examples like he ate all bread, whole quantity, right? Now remember, no is used when the noun that it qualifies is expressed, and none is used when the noun is understood. Then, so what are quantitative adjectives? Like much, little, some, all, right? All these are quantitative adjectives. Like you can say he has little knowledge, uncountable. I ate some rice, uncountable. He spent all his money, uncountable. We have few books, countable. I brought some books, countable. So you can use your quantitative adjectives in either case, right? Next you have is that numeral adjective. What is a numeral adjective? Numeral adjective is an adjective that tells us about how many or how much or in what order the noun is in, right? Numeral adjective tells us about how many, how much, or in what order it is there, right? Say numeral adjective is of three types, right? Definite numerals, indefinite numerals, and demonstrative numerals, right? You have three types. Now let us see what they are. What is definite numeral? It denotes some exact number, those which show how many persons or things, right? 1, 2, 3 are called cardinals. Those which show serial order, first, second, third, are called ordinals, right? So what we understand is that which talks about 1, 2, 3 are called as cardinals. When we say first, second, third, fourth, it is called as ordinals. So definite numerals denote some exact number, those which show how many persons or things. For example, let us understand this. He gave me 3 red roses. This is cardinal, right? She is the third contestant. This is ordinal, right? Serial order. So this way we will use our definite numerals. Then indefinite numeral, much, words like much, little, enough, some, no, all, any are adjectives of quantity, right? Many, few, some, all are adjectives of numerals, right? So in this, again, these words, that is many, few, enough, some, no, are adjectives of numeral, right? How we will use this? Say, for example, he has much bread. This is adjective of quantity. But numerals, he had many loaves of bread, number, right? Now he had little bread, quantity. He had few loaves of bread, numerals. I'm using it in numerals. He had some bread. But here in numerals, when I change, he had some loaves of bread. So these words like many, few, enough, some, no, all are adjectives of numerals and how we use them in numerals, right? Then indefinite, now definite numeral we finished. Indefinite numeral denote number of some kind without saying precisely what the number is, right? What is an indefinite numeral? It denotes number of some kind without saying precisely what the number is. For example, all, some, enough, no or none. Example, all men are mortal. No men were present. Many men are poor. Several men came. Some men die young. Enough men were present. Few men are rich. So indefinite, not exact number. There is no exact number. So they are those which do not indicate exact number. Indefinite numerals are those which do not indicate exact number. For example, I lent little money to Mr. Sahil. I'm not saying how much money I meant. Little number. So this is called as indefinite numeral. Then indefinite numerals of this adjectives also we learned. Then we have demonstrative adjectives. Now demonstrative adjectives show which are which or what person or thing intended to be pointed out. What are demonstrative adjectives? They show which or what person or things intended to be pointed out. In other words, they are adjectives that are used to modify a noun so that we know which specific person or thing is mentioned. Now they are again divided into two, definite and indefinite, right? Demonstrative is again divided into two. Now, what is in demonstrative? We demonstrate and show. Now, how they are divided? Let us see. Now, definite demonstrative adjective is when a person or thing is pointed out exactly. Then we call it as definite demonstrative, right? The most common definite demonstratives are, say in singular terms, this book, this boy, that book, that boy, right? And in plural, these books, these boys, those books, those boys. So where, when a person or thing is pointed out exactly, that adjective is called definite demonstrative adjective, right? Clear? Then indefinite demonstrative. When the adjective pointed out in certain sense, but not exactly, it is called indefinite. For example, words like any, certain, some, other, such words are called indefinite demonstrative. You must take some book or the other when I say. I am not definite. I am not saying this book. I am not saying that book. I am saying you must take some book or the other. He gave me the choice of certain book. He did not say this book, that book. He only said certain book, right? So in this way, it is called as indefinite demonstrative, right? Then, so we have definite demonstrative, indefinite demonstrative, and then we come to interrogative adjectives. Now, what are interrogative adjectives? Interrogative adjectives are words that modifies a noun by asking a question, and such words are called interrogative adjectives. Example, what book is that? Or I'll ask, which book do you like best? In these two questions, what is used in a general sense and which is used in a selective sense? Or I can say, whose house is that? Or which seat do you prefer? So interrogative adjectives are words that modifies a noun by asking a question is called interrogative adjective, right? Now, then we have possessive adjectives. The possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, are, their, and whose. A possessive adjective sits before a noun to show who or what owns it. For example, I'll say his pillow is soft, my gown is white, she has a dog, you have a house, right? They are called as possessive adjectives, right? So what are possessive adjectives? They are, they sit before a noun and they show who or what owns it. My gown is white, or his pillow is soft, she has a dog, and you have a house, right? Next is that, so these are the different types of adjectives that we have learned. What are the different kinds of adjectives? Just let us brush up. We have proper adjective, then we have descriptive adjective, then we have quantitative adjective, right? Then we have, say, Numerical adjectives, which are again divided into three, that is definite numerals, indefinite numerals, demonstrative numerals, right? Then we have demonstrative adjectives. Then we have, again, they are divided into definite and indefinite demonstratives. Then we have interrogative adjectives, right? We have possessive adjectives. Now, not only that, adjectives are also used in comparisons, right? Everyday life, we tend to compare something or the other, and we use comparison of adjectives. Now, the degrees of comparisons are three in number. They are the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. What are they? The positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative degree. Now, what is a positive degree? Positive degree denotes quality. No comparison is needed. Say, I can just say Ravi is a tall boy. I'll say Hyderabad is a big city. Thomas is strong, right? So then comparative degree is what? So what is positive degree? It just denotes no comparison. Then what is a comparative degree? It denotes quality in the greater or lesser degree used when two are being compared. The comparative degree of almost all one syllable adjectives is formed by adding er. For one syllable adjectives, we add it by adding er, right? To the positive degree. Say big, bigger, we add er. Small, smaller, we add er, right? If the adjective ends in y, then we change y to I before adding er. For example, salty, saltier, saltier, right? So some adjectives can change in the form of the words. In others, you may need to prefix with such comparative word as more or less. For example, you cannot say beautiful, beautifuler, beautifulest. You have to say beautiful, more beautiful. So Sita is more beautiful than Geeta. Sita is clever, cleverer, cleverest. Sita is cleverer than Geeta. So depending on, that is for single syllable words, you can just add er, right? Then what is a superlative degree? Superlative degree denotes quality in the greatest or least degree used when more than two are being compared. In English, the superlative degree is usually marked by the suffix est or the word most, as in the word loud, loudest you can say, or most loudly. Three or more syllables form the superlative by using most or least. Let us look at some examples. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. She is the smartest girl in our class. This is the most interesting book I have ever read. I am the shortest person in my family. So these are all superlative degrees, right? Now remember, there are certain degrees that cannot be compared. Certain words which you cannot compare. And those words are, those adjectives are, sorry, what I mean to say here is certain adjectives are compared irregularly. For example, good. Good, gooder, goodest you will not have. You will say good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Little, less, least. Much, more, most. Far, further, furthest, right? So this way, they are irregular adjectives, right? And also remember, some adjectives are not compared at all. For example, words like adjectives like unique, fatal, empty, dead, final, round, rounder, roundest, you cannot have. Full, supreme, wrong, these words cannot be compared at all. So what we understand, we have three degrees, that is positive degree, superlative degree, comparative degree, right? So let us do some examples and see. Look at this one kind of sentence I will show you. Ramana is the cleverest boy in the class. Now this is in superlative degree. If I want to change it into comparative degree, I will say Ramana is cleverer than any other boy in the class. Same, if I want to change it in positive degree, I will say no other boy is as clever as Ramana. Or One of its kind I want to compare. Say Hyderabad is one of the biggest cities in India. Then I want to change it into comparative. I will say Hyderabad is bigger than most or many other cities in India. I can use most or I can use many. If I want to change it into positive degree, I will say very few cities in India are as big as Hyderabad. So see how we have changed this into different degrees. How the same sentence can be used in simple positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Supposing you want to use this in a negative form. You want to use this degree in a negative form, right? How to change it in a negative form? For example, I'll start with say, Varsha is not the tallest girl in the class. If I have to change it into comparative, I will say Varsha is not taller than some other girls in the class. Some girls in the class are at least as tall as Varsha, right? So this way I can use it in the negative sense also. Now, there are certain things you should remember. When we do anything in comparative, that can only be converted into positive degree. We cannot change it into superlative degree. For example, Vijayawada is hotter than Tenali. Tenali is not so hot as Vijayawada in positive degree. When we do it with 2, we cannot have superlative because superlative is more than 2, right? So these are our degrees of comparative. Now, apart from this, adjectives, sometimes for one person, we may describe one person with many adjectives, say is beautiful, tall, handsome. So what is the order of adjective? How adjectives should come in order? Which adjective should come first? Which adjective should come second? So the order of adjective is the sequence used when there is more than one adjective to describe a noun. This order helps the sentence make sense when you read it. Now, the correct order is first you will give number, then you will give opinion, then you will give size, then you will give shape, then you will give condition, then you will tell about the age, then color, pattern, origin, material, and purpose. So, what is the order? First is number, determiner you can use, right? Next is opinion, then size, then shape, then condition, then age, then color, pattern, origin, material, and purpose. Let us understand this with an example. Say, I love that really big, old, green, antique car that always parked at the end of the street. See, big, old, green, antique car. The order how I have brought it, right? My sister adopted a beautiful, big, white bulldog. Or my friend lost a red, black, and white watch. So you need to, if you are having more than 2 adjectives, you need to follow the order how you place your adjectives. And the right order is first number, opinion, size, shape, condition, age, color, pattern, origin, material, and purpose. Is it clear? Now, let us move. Now, we know that not only this, adjectives also function as present participle adjectives and past participle adjectives, right? So, we have 2 types of adjectives which we have learnt in our earlier classes, participles. So, we'll just brush up with that. There are 2 types of participles, that is the present participle which ends in ing form and the past participle which ends in ed form. Adjectives with ed endings tell us how people feel about something or someone, right? It is less common for words with the ed ending to describe non-living things, situations, or ideas, right? And adjectives with ing endings often describe a quality of a person, thing, or idea. That is, they describe the thing that causes a feeling or emotion. So what do we understand? That adjectives are of present participle and past participle, right? And the present participle ends in ing form and the past participle ends in ed form. Then we also know that adjectives with ed endings tell us how people feel about something or someone, right? It is less common for words with ed ending to describe non-living things generally, living things, right? Situations or ideas. And adjectives with ing form, they describe a quality, person, thing, or idea, right? So To have a better understanding, let us look at this example. He was shocked by the president's words. Past participle. I want to change this into present participle. The president's words were shocking, ing form. So in the first sentence, shock tells us how the speaker felt. In the second, shocking describes the thing that caused the speaker's feeling, right? The president's words were shocking, right? So how it is describing the speaker's feeling. So in other words, shocking words made the person feel shocked, right? So this is how we have different kinds of adjectives, right? So what do we understand? That adjectives are of different kinds. They are proper adjectives. Then we have descriptive adjectives. Then we have quantitative adjectives. We have numeral adjectives. Then they are again divided, right? Numeral adjectives and quantitative. We have demonstrative adjectives. We have interrogative adjectives, possessive adjectives. Not only that, we have degrees of comparisons, that is positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Positive degree is when we are talking about one thing, comparative when we are talking about two things, and superlative when we are talking about more than two things, right? So we also know that certain words don't take any degrees, right? They're not compared at all. Then not only that, there is an order. If you are having more than two or three adjectives, how you should place your adjectives, what comes first and what comes next. And then you have present participle and past participle. So I think you have understood this. So now let us just do a small exercise and see how we have, whether we have understood this or not. Now look at this. Jitender lives in the dash house down the street. Now there are three ways: pink, new, big, big, new, pink, new, big, pink. Which order is the right? The right answer is big, new, pink. The Sunday market offer all kinds of dash objects. Fascinating old antique, or old antique fascinating, or old fascinating antique. The right answer is fascinating old antique, right? Then we have, say, look at this. I was delighted to receive a dash diary from my park. Large, beautiful, leather bound, large, beautiful, or beautiful, large, leather bound. The answer is beautiful, large, leather bound, right? Or say, my sister has a, which is the right one? Scary, big, black, Alsatian dog, right? Now, in the similar way, fill in the blanks with adjectives. That is present participle and past participle, right? It was a dash book. I was dashed by the book. What is your answer? It was a boring book. I was bored by the book. The film is dash. I was dashed while watching it. The film is frightening. I was frightened while watching it, right? I felt dash after I ran into him. That man is very dash. The word is annoyed. I felt annoyed after I ran into him. That man is very annoying. It is an dash topic. I am dash in learning more about it. It is an interesting topic. I am interested in learning about it. Right? Now, I am tired because I have a tiring day. Right? Now, let us do this last one. Choose appropriate word as adjectives, right? What is the appropriate word that you're going to choose as adjectives? Now, quantitative adjectives we have learned. So that there isn't dash sugar in the pot, much or many. We use much because it is not countable. When it is not countable, you should use much, and when it is countable, you will use many. Tanya has very dash options, little or few. Our answer is few because options are countable and few is used for countable. Rohan bought dash food with him. Some food with him, right? I have little faith in Amar. And here the answer is people buy fewer because newspapers are again countable, right? Now, next is this comparative and superlative. Just fill these words in the blanks with comparative or superlative. This, say my bungalow is larger than hers. My bungalow is largest in my colony. I am the fastest runner in my school, but my sister can run faster than me. Not only is her handwriting better now, it is in fact the best in her class, right? This is the irregular word. So we have used better and best. This task is important to me. It is the most important task I'll do this week. I thought the green ones would cost the least, but the red ones cost less, right? So I hope you all have understood this, right? So try to do some other exercises that are there behind the textbook. And if you have any doubts, please put those doubts in the group. We can solve. So stay home, stay safe. And if at all you have to go out, wear your mask and maintain your distance. Thank you very much for listening to me.